Hi folks, Jonathan Ramcharan here, actor, stand-up comedian extraordinaire. I avoid people now. Here's why. This is a reaction video to a video I had made entitled, I'm a millennial man, I avoid people now, here's why. Now that is a trend topic. Many people are making videos online in regards to that issue, being of a certain age and avoiding people now. In, this new era, this world, 2025. Now check it out. I got some pretty well-received mixed reviews on my video. Some people were in agreement, some people were in disagreements. So check this out. I want to read something to you first. It's gonna set up my further discussion on the topic, and it's also going to bring you in touch with a piece of literature, a very famous piece of literature. This is the book by Dale Carnegie, How to Make Friends and Influence People. This book is like 90 years in publication. It is a well sought after, time tested and true, turn to book on self-help. It's like one of the first self-help books of stature out there. Dale Carnegie, How to Make Friends and Influence People. If I got that right. Yep. How to Win Friends and Influence People. So check this out. Check this out when you get the chance. It's a genre-defying book on self-help. Here, and insights into, human interaction, management, etc., etc. I'm going to read you an excerpt. This is a quick excerpt from the first chapter. I don't want friends to influence people. I'm going to do with this bookmark. Let's put it over here for now. On May 7th, 1931, the most sensational manhunt New York City had ever known had come to its climax. After weeks of search, Two-Gun Crowley, the killer, the gunman who didn't smoke or drink, was at bay, trapped in his sweetheart's apartment on the West End Avenue. 150 policemen and detectives laid siege to his top-floor hideaway. They chopped holes in the roof. They tried to smoke out Crowley, the cop killer, with tear gas. Then they mounted their machine guns on surrounding buildings. And for more than 1 hour, one of New York's fine residential areas reverberated with the crack of pistol fire and the rat-a-tat-tat of machine guns. Crowley, crouching behind an overstuffed chair, fired incessantly at the police. 10,000 excited people watched the battle. Nothing like it had ever been seen before on the sidewalks of New York City. When Crowley was captured, Police Commissioner E.P. Mulrooney declared that the two-gun desperado was one of the most dangerous criminals ever encountered in the history of New York. "We will kill him," the commissioner said, "at the drop of a feather." But how did the two-gun Crowley regard himself? We know because while the police were firing into his apartment, he wrote a letter addressed "To whom it may concern." And as he wrote, the blood flowing from his wounds left a crimson trail on the paper. In his letter, Crowley said, "Under my coat is a weary heart, but a kind one that would do nobody any harm." A short time before this, Crowley had been having a necking party with his girlfriend on a country road out on Long Island. Suddenly, a policeman walked up to the car and said, "Let me see your license." Without saying a word, Crowley drew his gun and cut the policeman down with a shower of lead. As the dying officer fell, Crowley leaped out of the car, grabbed the officer's revolver, and fired another bullet into the prostrate body. And that was the killer who said, "Under my coat is a weary heart, but a kind one that would do nobody any harm." Crowley was sentenced to the electric chair. When he arrived at the death house in Sing Sing, did he say, "This is what I get for killing people"? No. He said, "This is what I get for defending myself." The point of the story is this: Two Gun Crowley didn't blame himself for anything. I'm going to repeat that. The point of the story is this: Two Gun Crowley didn't blame himself for anything. Is that an unusual attitude among criminals? If you think so, listen to this. I have spent the best years of my life giving people the lighter pleasures, helping them have a good time, and all I get is abuse, the existence of a hunted man. That's Al Capone speaking. Yes, America's most notorious public enemy, the most sinister gang leader who ever shot up Chicago. Capone didn't condemn himself. He actually regarded himself as a public benefactor. An unappreciated and misunderstood public benefactor. And so did Dutch Schultz, before he crumpled up under gangster bullets in Newark. Dutch Schultz, one of New York's most notorious rats, said in a newspaper interview that he was a public benefactor, and he believed it. I've had some interesting correspondences with Louis Laws, who was warden of New York's infamous Sing Sing prison for many years, on this subject, and he declared that few of the criminals in Sing Sing regard themselves as bad men. They are just a human, as you and I. So they rationalize, they explain. They tell you why they had to crack a safe or be quick on the trigger finger. Most of them attempt, by a form of reasoning, fallacious or logical, to justify their antisocial acts even to themselves, consequently, stoutly maintaining that they should never have been imprisoned at all. If Al Capone, Two Gun Crowley, Dutch Schultz, and the desperate men and women behind bars, prison walls, don't blame themselves for anything, what about the people with whom you and I come into contact? John Wanamaker, founder of the stores that bear his name, once confessed, "I learned 30 years ago that it is foolish to scold. I have enough trouble overcoming my own limitations without fretting over the fact that God has not seen fit to distribute evenly the gift of intelligence." Wanamaker learned this lesson early, but I personally had to blunder through this old world for a third of a century before it even began to dawn on me that 99 times out of 100, people don't criticize themselves for anything, no matter how wrong it may be. Yeah. That's an excerpt from How to Win Friends and Influence People by the author Dale Carnegie. 90 years plus in printing, in publishing, has been published. Monumental book on relationships, human interaction, human management. Dale Carnegie, that famed author, had to live 1/3 of a century before it even dawned on him that 99% of the time, people don't blame themselves for anything. Now, I ain't going to sit here and harp on things. Oh, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Accountability, rah, rah, rah. It's not the point. It's just basic, common sense, human observance. People don't care. We live in a world of cynicism, motivated by self-interest. Nobody really cares. Now, I did get to thinking about some of the criticism I got in my video. Some of the pushback was like, wow, that's a very sad way to look at the world. You have a very sad point of view. My response to that would be, generally speaking, when people want to see what isn't there, it's because of their own cynicism, self-interest. Yeah, of course, people don't want to admit to the fact that, generally speaking, nobody cares, and it's a cynical dog-eat-dog world. Who wants to admit to that? And the reason why they don't is because that furthers their fear. They're afraid. That's a fearful thought, to think that you can't trust anybody in this world, but I mean, what's the alternative? To live a lie? Some people are more comfortable with the lie than they are with the truth. But, you know, when people are always pushing the idea of things should be nice, things should be good, and dum, a lot of times that really just means for them. They're only thinking about themselves. For example, as I mentioned earlier, I live by the golden rule as a Christian. Do unto those as you would like done upon you. Do unto others as you would like done upon yourself. And for me, that's a blanket statement. I mean, 8 times out of the 10, 80% of the time, I'm going to treat somebody with respect, even if they don't deserve my respect, because that's what I believe in. It's not what I'm trying to get out of people. Most of the time, people are trying to get something out of you. Oh yeah, people should be nice, people should be good. Watch how quickly those people that believe in being nice and good switch into animals at the mere thought of losing control over you. It's all about control. They want to control you. People often offer up their niceness and their pleasantries because they're trying to control you. The second you resist their charms, the second you just go neutral and be like, hey, look, I'm just a person to myself. They're going to see that. They're going to notice that. They're going to resent that. Fear is going to grow in them. They're losing control. They need to know that they're in control. They need to know that. That's very important for them because they're afraid. And then they will hate you. And that whole nicey nice bullshit will go right out the window. People don't care. This is a cynical world. And as I mentioned before, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Self-interest serves the general public. People work hard for themselves. That produces products and services which support the general public. Sad but true. And people don't blame themselves. People are so afraid of being hurt and disrespected and controlled that they often lash out first. And if someone claims to care about a social issue or a social situation, it's only as far as it benefits them. Generally speaking, when people say that they care about being nice and caring and accommodating to people, it's only so as far as what benefits them. They want to be perceived that way, or they want to have some kind of unwritten guarantee that they're going to receive that type of behavior. If they don't get what they feel they are owed, All that shit goes right out the window. The whole nicey, carry, lovey-dovey stuff. If they don't get what they feel that they're owed in that exchange, they'll throw it all out the window. They'll lie, steal, and cheat. They'll be deceptive, mean, nasty, disrespectful, controlling. They'll throw all that upon you the second they perceive they're not getting what they feel they're owed. It's all bullshit. Whereas for me, I do unto others as I want done unto myself, because that's what I believe in. 80% of the time, at least 80% of the time, I am treating people with respect because I believe in that. I believe in forgiveness, my lifestyle of forgiveness as a Christian. I believe in that. I struggle 80% of the time. You have to really cross the line, and it's usually generally something in terms of a physical boundary. Like if somebody gets kind of physically aggressive, then I have to sort of, defend myself. Or if someone's constantly harping upon me, I might have to let them know definitively, once and for all, don't play with me. But generally speaking, 80% of the time, I'm letting people off the hook, left, right, and center. I'm disregarding their nasty comments and ugly ways. Just turn a blind eye, turn the other cheek. Because I believe in that. Do unto others as you want done unto you. A lot of phonies out there. It's only as far as what serves them. Let me know in the comments, please. Let this video be an open discussion on this topic. Because it's food for thought and it's very interesting. And it's very interesting because, it's a trend video. People are interested in this topic. And some people say that, to avoid people is wrong. Oh, it's wrong. You shouldn't avoid people. And some people think it's right. Yeah, you should avoid people. Generally speaking, they're not worth the headache. A lot of differing points of view. And just to wrap it up here, for myself, I believe that the world is cynical, motivated by self-interest. Generally speaking, people don't care. And I choose to live my Christian lifestyle. I do unto others the way I want to have done unto me because I believe in it, not because I'm seeking some sort of reward that I feel that I'm owed from that person. If they have disrespect for me, that's totally cool. I'm going to respect them anyway. And here's a quick little story to close this thing out, put it into perspective. I had thought about what people had been saying about the video I made. Some people said that I have a sad point of view. I'm cynical and mistrusting. And I thought about it and I played with it and, I kind of experimented in my day-to-day actions. This is a recent one of those interactions. There's a grocery store in my neighborhood. There's a young man working there. He's a cashier. Looks like some Gen Z dude, early 20s, 22, 23. I go through the till one day. He brings my stuff up. Hey bro, thank you very much. By the way, can I get a bag, please? He just stares at me. I repeat myself. Oh, can I get a bag, please? How do you want to pay? Doesn't answer my request, stares at me, and goes, how do you want to pay? In other words, no, you don't tell me anything, I tell you, how do you want to pay? That's the way I'm thinking it in my brain. A very fearful, disrespectful young man. You don't tell me anything. Doesn't understand his job. All he had to do was nod, say, okay, yes, I'll get you a bag. I'm standing there wondering about this bag. You know how it is. In this day and age, people charge you for the bags at the grocery store. So if you don't speak up for it, and you don't say, hey, I want a bag, they'll forget to charge you, and then you don't have a bag, and then it's a big deal. Oh my God, the bag, when you're trying to leave. That's why you got to speak up. Oh, hey, can I please get a bag? Charge me for a bag, please. Stands there staring at me. Oh my God, the bag. This is obviously a control issue, because the normal decent thing to do would just be to nod your head okay or say yes. No, he just stares at me blankly. I see what it is. He's a young man, he's got an attitude problem, something. Now you could say, oh, Jonathan, you're making too much about it. Jonathan, you're overthinking it. No, have you ever heard the saying, when people show you who they are, believe them? When people show you who they are, believe them. I spoke to the man with respect. I used all the right words. I think I even used a fake smile. Who knows? But at any rate, I chose my words carefully. And I'm a working person, comedian, stand-up comedian, actor. I have a lot of work experience. I know what it's like to be out there in the world trying to make a living. And I understand the difference between respect and disrespect. I spoke to the man very respectfully. Hey, bro, can I please get a bag? Just staring at me. For whatever reason, he didn't answer my simple request. Though he did give me a bag. Oddly enough. Cut to yesterday. Yesterday I'm at the grocery store again. I'm walking and I see him and he's looking at me and I'm looking at him. Strange kind of a look, right? I got the feeling that it was like a kind of a tense sort of a look. Then it clicked. Oh, I see what it is. He's a young guy. He thinks that he should be somewhere in life where he isn't. I mean, I guess he thinks he's above being a cashier, even though he's a cashier. I didn't insult him for being a cashier, but there he is as a cashier. He's got some kind of chip on his shoulder about it. And also the fact of he resents my authority. I have physical authority over that man. Now, I ain't the baddest thing that ever lived, but there are many times in life when I have physical authority over people. How do you think they feel about that? They feel fearful and resentful. Resents my authority. Okay, yeah. That's the way he feels. I can see how he feels that way. Because I do have the physical authority over him. If he and I were trapped on a desert, and if I turned to him and I said, all right, sit your bitch ass down, and not so much of a peep out of you. I'm going to go upside your head. He wouldn't have much option other than to sit his bitch ass down and not utter so much as a peep, otherwise I go upside his head. Now, why do I gotta take it there? Why? Because that's what it's about. It's all about control, resentment, anger, violence. That's what the whole idea of avoiding people is about. To avoid their anger, their control, their violence. What else does this guy have an issue with me for? He doesn't respect my authority. He doesn't respect it. Not that I'm out there wielding it, but I mean, that is the issue. I have the authority over him physically. Ain't a damn thing he's going to do to me unless he's got a weapon. And really weak men, weak emotional men, really think about that. And it burns them up. It plays on their mind. So anyways, cut to, I'm leaving. And, I'm at the self-checkout. I'm like, I ain't dealing with these bozos. I'll go to the self-checkout. So I'm at the self-checkout. Oh, what do you know? All of a sudden, he's there. You know, a little Gen Z warrior. He's there. And he comes up in my space, buzzing around, slamming things down, grabbing baskets, slamming around, buzzing around up in my area. And as he's buzzing around, making a big production of himself, he grabs a grocery basket, and as he's turning around, he grazes my leg. Kind of like just a little bump, a little graze. Kind of stung a little bit, but no big deal. And I kind of looked, and he didn't do anything, right? Didn't apologize, didn't do nothing, just walked off. And, I played kind of coy. I kind of felt like, on some man code stuff, that's grounds to just like turn around and pop them, right? On some man code shit. But I just kind of, as a civilized man in society, obeying laws, I'm just like, played dumb for a second and just kind of turned and kind of looked to see where he was situated. And he was, off fiddling around with whatever the fuck it is cashiers do, playing with his grocery bags or whatever. And I look up and, he's over there fiddling around. And I saw on his face, like, oblivion. Just not even aware. See, he's not even aware that he's a calculating, nasty person who's got issues with people for no reason. It doesn't even dawn on him. I could just see it in his eyes. I could see like how impersonal the whole thing was. It's just like, he chalked it up to what it is. Okay, I'm a man who has physical authority over him. He's got an issue, blah, blah, blah. He feels low about himself. He's got all these problems, yakety, yakety, yak. And just because I came into contact in his world, I'm somehow in his stew of BS. Hence the point of the video. I'm a millennial man. I avoid people now. Here's why. Now, I know you might listen to that story and go, oh, well, you're overthinking things. You're making issue of things. You're making assumptions. Da-da-dum, da-da-doom. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. And understand that every time you open your mouth to a person, this is the game that is being played. Whenever someone opens their mouth towards you, this is the game that it's played. Cynical, self-motivated. This is the world we live in. It's a game. A game of control. Some people do unto others as they want done unto them. Some people don't. Some people are fearful and controlling. Some people aren't. And when I say some people, I mean 2 out of 10. 80% of the time, you're going to come in contact with controlling, cynical weirdos. Dollars to donuts, baby. I'll bet you dollars to donuts, baby. Whenever you come in contact with a human being, you're dealing with a crazy, controlled weirdo who has some kind of scheme or plot or angle on you. They be sizing you up. They might smile in your face, but they're thinking something. They're thinking something. But hey, it's not like I hate or resent that. It's just the way it is. And I choose to go forward and do unto others the way I want done unto me. To love my fellow man. Knowing that, hey, they, for the most part, it's a losing battle. We're dealing with pride, ego, vanity, fear, and cynicism. The human condition. Hallelujah. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment. I can further this video. I could speak further upon it, bring up other issues. It's a pretty hot topic. People are making a lot of great content on this theme, giving their points of view. And I would love to hear in the comments. I really would. And, dialogue is good. Communication is good, but only from a distance. Usually when you speak one-on-one with people, as I mentioned, we live in a world of cynicism, motivated by self-interest. Nobody really cares. So even if you are right when you're speaking to a person, it doesn't matter how right you are, their precious pride and ego and sense of control will deny you. They will deny your points. So communication is good from a distance in that if people can observe a conversation, overhear a conversation, and judge for themselves, that generally bears a lot of good fruit. A lot of good things can happen from that. But when you're speaking with someone one-on-one and they have a different point of view, 9 times out of 10, they're not changing their point of view because it's more important to be right than to get the truth in this day and age. It's not like I like or want that people are cynical and self-interested. It's just that it's the way it is. It's not like I want to be right in this discussion, but it's just that it's the way it is. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. Anyways, I yacked on enough. Thank you very much for watching. Do leave a comment, and until next time. Peace.